All right, so you're getting your business started. You got a great idea and you're really excited about it. And you're saying, okay, I probably need to get a business set up so it's a bit more formal, that I'm not just running it out of my house. I'm not running it by myself. And I also protect my personal assets. So it's, if something goes wrong with the business, I don't lose my house and all my savings and my money. So now you're saying, okay, that's what I need to do. But then you start to look into it and you say, okay, looks like there's generally kind of a few options. Being a solo individual, not setting up a business at all, and just kind of running it out of my house. Well, wouldn't recommend that because that is leaving everything, all of your personal assets liable. In other words, something goes wrong, you get sued, you have product liability, somebody gets hurt by your product, somebody is unhappy, they can come after your house, your savings, your anything that you own, they can come after. So doing nothing or just doing it without any sort of business, not a good idea. Assuming you're not doing that, then you're looking and saying, okay, well, I see that there's an LLC out there, an S Corp, a C Corp. I don't know what the difference is. What is, does it matter? Do I need to get one of these? Does it matter which one I get? I don't know. I'll just do whatever, whichever one is cheapest. And that's usually kind of how it goes a lot of times for if you don't know, the difference and you're just trying to get something started, which is definitely understandable. So walking through a bit of the difference is to an S Corp, an LLC, an S Corp, and a C Corp. For most of the people getting started, if you're just getting a business going and up and running and you're saying you want to have something in place, LLC is a great option. An LLC is a less expensive, and it's called LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation or Company. Sometimes if there are people will switch out corporation for company. And what it's basically doing is kind of what it sounds like. It's limiting your liability so that if somebody comes after the business, they can only come after the business. They can't come after you personally. It shields you a bit. So with that, an LLC is a good option. If you're starting out a business, you're going to start out small and you're just looking to get that protection in place. They're less expensive. They're usually simpler. They're not as requirement. There's not as much upkeep when you're trying to go or work with the state. It takes a lot less or typically a less amount of time, and it's less rigid and has less requirements. So an LLC is a great option. Now the question is, well, okay, so why wouldn't everybody always get an LLC? Well, the S Corp and the C Corp are set up a bit differently. So an LLC is going to set up that if you are going to, whether it's bring in partners or sell off part of the business, it's done with equity. So if you to think of, hey, I want to give up 10% equity to an investor that's coming in, well, you can definitely do that with an LLC, and that works just fine. Usually with an S Corp or a C Corp, typically, if you set those up, it's going to be based on shares. And so you're going to have X amount of shares. So it's not going to be equity or percentage of the business. It's going to be, hey, we have 10,000 shares, and I'm going to sell you 1,000 shares, whatever that might be. And if you're looking to have an investor, venture capital, angel investor, someone else come in, they're typically going to be looking for they're going to want to purchase shares. They're going to look for an S Corp or a C Corp because they're typically used to investing in shares in the business. So if you're looking for an angel investor, venture capital, sometimes an LLC and S Corp are worthwhile to pursue because that's the formation they're going to look for. Some of them are going to understand that you're early on, you don't care. And you can always change later on. But if you're looking to say, hey, my goal is to very shortly go out, raise money, get an angel investor, venture capital, otherwise put it out in the public and have people invest in it, get an S Corp or a C Corp. Now, what are the other reasons why you may get an S Corp or C Corp? Short answer is go talk to your CPA or your accountant or your tax attorney. Because depending on your business, depending on what you're looking to do, there can be tax advantages of setting up an S Corp or a C Corp as far as how the government taxes you. Now, honestly, if you're a small business, you're just a startup, you're just getting going, most of the time those advantages and those reasons why you do it don't apply to you. But they can, depending on your circumstance. So a lot of times what's worthwhile, go and hit your CPA, your accountant, your tax attorney and say, hey, I'm setting up this business. Here's a quick run through. What do you think? Does it make sense again, S Corp, a C Corp, or an LLC? If they say, well, it's all about the same, it doesn't matter from a tax perspective, get an LLC. If they say, no, here's all the tax advantages, you're really going to save a lot more money. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you don't do this. Do whatever they say. If they say get an S Corp or C Corp because here are the reasons why you're going to save taxes, go ahead and do it. So those are the things you're looking at, S Corp, LLC, C Corp, kind of what you might be considering. Look at, how much you're going to make. Is it do you want it simple and quick and just getting something initially started? Go with an LLC. You're going to look for angel investor, venture capital, or if after you talk with a CPA or an accountant, tax attorney, they say, here's the tax advantages, go with an S Corp or C Corp. If you have any more questions, you need any further help, feel free to reach out to us at Miller IP Law. We always want to make sure you're taken care of. Good luck.